bigbear.ai quotes S stock has taken a hit after the company's earnings report missed expectations, sparking concerns about its growth prospects. The catalyst for this downturn was bigbear.ai quote S fourth quarter revenue coming in at $34 million, short of the projected $40.8 million, according to data from FactSet. This miss on the top line, combined with a wider than expected loss per share of 15 cents, has left investors reeling. The company's adjusted EBITDA margins also fell short of analyst estimates. Data points suggest that bigbear.ai quote S growth may be slowing down as it continues to navigate the competitive AI market. The company reported a sequential decline in revenue for the quarter, which could indicate a slowdown in demand or a struggle to scale operations efficiently. For context, this marks the third consecutive quarter of declining sequential revenue, with a 12% year over year decline in Q4. Additionally, bigbear.ai quote S gross margin contracted by 150 basis points YoY, indicating potential inefficiencies in its cost structure. One possible scenario is that bigbear.ai may need to reassess its growth strategy and focus on cost cutting measures to get back on track. The company's large cash reserves could provide some breathing room for this process, with approximately $220 million in cash and equivalents as of Q4. However, investors will be watching closely for signs of progress. Alternatively, the market may be overreacting to the earnings miss, and bigbear.ai could see a bounce back in the coming quarters. The company has demonstrated strong growth in its AI-powered solution segment, with revenue increasing by 30% YoY in Q4. This suggests that there is still demand for its products and the company's technology remains relevant. However, there are also risks that could change the trajectory of the company's stock. A significant one is the ongoing competition in the AI space, which has been heating up with the entry of new players and the growing presence of established tech giants. If bigbear.ai fails to innovate and stay ahead of the curve, its growth prospects may continue to suffer. In terms of tactical ideas, buyers could look for a bounce off the 50-day moving average at around $3.20, while sellers might aim for a retest of the recent lows near $2.40. However, these levels are speculative and should not be considered as investment advice. bigbear.ai quote S earnings miss has left investors questioning its growth prospects, but it remains to be seen whether this is an opportunity or a sign of deeper structural issues within the company. As the market continues to digest the implications of the earnings report, one thing is clear: bigbear.ai must take steps to address its growth concerns and restore investor confidence. The company's ability to execute on its growth strategy will be closely watched in the coming quarters. If bigbear.ai can demonstrate a return to growth and profitability, its stock could see a significant rebound. However, if the company continues to struggle, it may face further downward pressure. Investors will need to weigh these factors carefully as they consider their next move. In conclusion, while bigbear.ai quote S earnings miss has been a setback for the company, it also presents an opportunity for investors who are willing to take on the risk. With its strong cash position and growing presence in the AI market, bigbear.ai is not without hope. However, the road ahead will be challenging, and the company must demonstrate significant progress if it wants to regain investor confidence. bigbear.ai quote S stock price has been trending lower over the past year, with a 12-month decline of around 60%. This decline has been driven in part by the company's struggles to grow its revenue, as well as concerns about its profitability and competitive positioning. However, some analysts believe that the market may be overreacting to these issues and that bigbear.ai is due for a bounce. In terms of specific numbers, bigbear.ai quote SQ4 revenue came in at $34 million, which was short of the projected $40.8 million. The company's adjusted EBITDA margins also fell short of analyst estimates, coming in at 15.6% versus expectations of 18%. Additionally, bigbear.ai reported a wider than expected loss per share of 15 cents. The implications of these numbers are significant, and investors will need to carefully consider them as they weigh their next move. With the company's stock price already under pressure, any further decline could have serious consequences for shareholders. However, if bigbear.ai can demonstrate a return to growth and profitability, its stock could see a significant rebound. Ultimately, the future of bigbear.ai remains uncertain, and investors will need to closely monitor the company's progress in the coming quarters. With its strong cash position and growing presence in the AI market, there is still